Hi, I'm Elle Witchy.
And I'm the Empress.
And I'm Kim. No experts, just three vastly different women from three vastly different backgrounds with three diverse perspectives on life and spirituality. We are the witch, the bitch, and the sage. So, welcome to us. It's a freezing Sunday morning, and we're recording for the first time because we have some spiritual glitches, we believe, in our between the three of us. My computer hasn't worked. I get cut out at 28 minutes into an hour presentation. I'm pixelating. Weird shit's happening. Empress never knows how to get her speakers on right. So we've just been challenged, and we've been trying to record a tarot episode, and we decided about, I don't know, 6 minutes ago that we're just not going to do it. That we've recorded it 3 times. It's not going out. Maybe this is not the right time for us to discuss tarot. So I think we're going to riff today. And I wanted to start, and I decided it was a good idea to record this. And this is me being very vulnerable. I woke up this morning and I have a chain that I wear. You've probably seen it maybe in other episodes. I always have it on. It is my grandmother's thumbprint, who died 8 years ago, and it is my husband's thumbprint, and he died almost 4 years ago. And I have worn that for 8 years like a talisman. Been very attached to it. It's broken a couple of times, and I put it this way: when it breaks, I call it a 187 in my house. If you're familiar with the uh, Crips and the Bloods on the West Coast. It's a 187 in my house if I break my chain. Like, I got to go get one, to the point where I was keeping a couple of chains on hand in case they broke. So I was very attached to that. This morning, well, actually, let me back up. I've been doing some shadow work recently, and a lot of it has been around the grief of loss of my husband, um, and the grief from my son. I will just preface to say that my son died almost 30 years ago, and I was not equipped at 24, I believe 23 or 24, to handle that kind of a tragedy. When my husband died, I had the tools. I had already had an awakening. I had a solid belief foundation. Anyway, the more I've been healing about him, the closer I've been getting to the healing around my son. Cut to, I've been doing some shadow work, and the energy healer that I work with told me that, when my necklace would get all tangled up, that was my son tugging on me. And I loved that. This morning I woke up, it was all tangled up, and I thought, okay, well, he's there, and I'm talking to him. And then I sat down and I was trying to untangle it, and I stood up and it was back tight up to my neck. I can't explain that. We don't believe in coincidences here. So I don't know what that meant, but in my trying to untangle it, it broke. And this girl did not have a full on meltdown, to the point that when I got on here, I wasn't going to talk about it because I'm actually still thinking about it right now. It makes me a little emotional. I feel like maybe I am healing. Maybe that is a sign of healing. So I did not freak out. And, you guys can tell me what you think that's all about.
You want to go first?
You want? I personally, again, as you said, I don't believe in coincidences. I say that as I reach in to grab my own. So one of the things that I would say in general is this: a lot of what we have, the more we play with it, we're putting energy into. So I think that you're correct. I do the same thing. And I had mentioned it because you were talking about your energy being all over the place. And so in my mind, my first thought was to protect energy because, as you know, it's the hottest commodity, is to have a crystal and put intention into it. So I was going to ask her, what crystal do you have that you can turn into a talisman? Because that shit's not anything new in my world. So that's just my go-to. But I know she's got that necklace. So I was going to say, hey, make that a talisman. But when she talked about it being snapped, that's what kind of opened up a lot of this conversation. So I would say that, yes, I believe that there's a reason why it's not there on that chain. And also probably you're ready to be okay with it. The other times that it broke, as you said, you had backup chains. So it's like you weren't ready for it then, but you might be ready for it now. So I agree. But Empress has a better view of this than I do. So I got to turn this over to her.
I'm going to say better.
I'll say better.
Well, I was just saying to Kim that her loved ones were letting her know that it's okay. You can move on from that because, like you said, you've been doing shadow work. So you've done the work, and you're not the Kim that you were when you got that necklace for
That's
your comfort and protection. And they're letting you know that you're strong and you built yourself up and you got this. It ain't going nowhere, but
Yeah.
you can carry yourself a little more now because you've done the work. So, Kim 2.0, let's go.
I don't know. I feel like it's more like fucking Kim 10.0. I feel like I'm a cat with a million lives I've lived. But I'll tell you, I think you're absolutely right. I'm glad it came up. I wasn't going to bring it up because and this is a little bit about grief, and maybe you guys can share some of your own experiences. But so as a mom, to get rid of anything that belongs to my children is always a struggle, right? Like an old artwork, an old t-shirt, or, you find stuff. So because my son died as a baby, I don't have a lot of my memories are just so they're in this little period of time. Whereas like when my husband died, I have 30 years, I can think of a million things. But with my son, it feels like holding on to the pain and holding on to the chain and holding on to all that was me being a good mother, holding on to him, protecting him.
No.
And the only person that was getting hurt in all of that was me. Because what I've come to learn is that he's been around me and guiding me all this time. I don't, and I know that, like, I know that. I know what I believe now, but that all happened to me when I was a completely different person. And so, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to run out and get a new. I bet by the next episode I have one. But I'm glad we're having this conversation because my intentions will be different.
I like to say something. So, I feel like this place that we live in, specifically this country, has done us a disservice. I don't view death as an ending. It's just another cycle of life. That's how I view it because we're here in the 3D world, but things in the 5D world are alive too. It's just a different form of energy.
Mhm.
You're missing the physical person, the physical connection, but like you do the work. The connection is always there. The energy of the person is always there. It never leaves you. So I do the mourning, like I do grieve, but I don't look at it as I try not to look at it as a loss. I try to look more so as a gain because now I've gained more in the 5D world that's fighting for me. I got more soldiers on my back. That's how I look at it
Yep.
Yeah.
for this 3D world. So it's sad, but I try not to hold on to the pain and I try to only focus on whatever good memories I have. I try to focus on that. Well, it just doesn't make sense to me to can't torture myself because if I do, I won't even be in 3D. I'll be in 2D. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean?
Yeah.
So, and
And
it's hard. It's hard. It's really, really hard, but I just feel like they're always there. They're always there.
so I agree. Not that I need to agree, right? Because we all grieve differently. But
Girl.
how do I say this? Like, I had no tool. I didn't grieve my son. I drank through it. I distracted through it. I pushed through it.
But you were 20, you were 23, 24, right?
I don't have any like I'm not mad at myself for that. I just didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know how to do that. I thought I was doing it. But with Keith being older and having an awakening, I understood that I needed to feel the feelings, right? Instead of drink them, eat them, smoke them, whatever. And I did that with more grace. And I will tell you, I agree with you. My beliefs now are, yeah, we're infinite beings. This isn't it. This is just not even necessarily a beginning. This could be a halftime show. This, you know what I mean? We're infinite and we're significant. Our roles here are significant, but we're insignificant when you look at, if you think of like time, which we know is an illusion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I've been here 1,000 times before, and this is just whatever. Anyhow, in unpackaging the stuff with Keith over the last 2 years, it's made my relationship with him different. Like I have a relationship with my husband who's passed on. I didn't have that for my son. I couldn't look at that. I couldn't hold on to that. So in doing the one, the other got closer to handle and dealing with my son, loss of my son. I had to unlearn all of the habits of grief that I had for 30 years. You know what I mean? Like I had to go all the way back. And for years, I couldn't even access the pain. I could look you in the eye and I could tell you logically without emotion exactly what happened. I was not in touch with the
Mm.
feeling at all. So then I had to go back and I had to get in touch with the feelings, and I didn't know how to do that. I know how to do that. I think my energy system was not, I may have shut down. You know what I mean? I wasn't ready till I was ready. And so I've been able to do that this last year. So again, I'm circling all the way back around to yes, we're infinite. And I am looking forward to building more of a relationship with my son. Like I get to do that. I believe I can do that. And it's not a waste that I held on to it so tightly for 30 years. It's just that's what I knew how to do. And now I can do something different.
No, because that was your journey. That
Yeah.
was your journey. If you didn't go on your journey, you wouldn't be the person that you are today. And the person that you are today is a FBI. Let's go. Let's go. Strong, powerful. So yeah.
Can I add something? I think that before you could even tackle what happened with your son, so like I don't have children. I've lost a parent, I've lost a couple of siblings, but I've never lost a child. So if there's two things I won't ever pretend is to know how to like the loss of a child or the loss of a spouse, because I've never experienced either one of those. But my gut is telling me that before you could even remotely think about tackling into your son's loss, because that is, you said it, he was a baby, he was innocent. It's like it was, and regardless, okay, let me back up slightly. So for me, I view animals very differently than people. And the reason why I view them very differently than people is because people come with baggage. People come with like, there's this, there's this, that. But with animals, it's just pure. They're just,
Yeah.
why the fuck am I crying? Just kidding.
See?
Emotions. But anyways, so it's like this purity. So even with a child, even with a baby, it's like, anyways, it's that level of pureness. There's nothing else. So like, but with Keith, with a partner, with a something, there's like, this one drives me crazy. This does this. So there's still that baggage. So that it's almost like, I feel like you needed to kind of probably unpack his death because it was easier
For sure.
because there's
Yeah.
like, I don't say that lightly, but it's like it was like you had to unpack that first before you could even go deeper to try and unpack the loss of your son.
Yeah. And I will try not to cry. Elle, you're crying because I want to.
Yeah, that's fair. I do that shit in readings. It's
Yeah,
annoying to me.
I to my more vulnerable side, but I'm doing this, so give me some credit. When a child dies, there's a societal, it's not correct or wrong or whatever, but there's a societal pressure that you are to protect that child. So there's a failure in my mind that I failed to do the thing I needed to do. Keith experienced that too. So there's it's not just dealing with the grief. I had to deal with, I felt I was a failure. I had to deal with that first before I could get into the grief. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And it took me 30 years to say out loud what I had been spinning in my head and in my body for all these years was that I thought I was a failure. Logically, I knew that I wasn't, but my I did feel that way. So it took a long time and I pushed it away and I pushed it away. Yeah. And you're right. And with Keith, it was easier. It was easier because he was omnipresent. I have 30 years with him. I can't look back at a Christmas or a birthday and not think about him. Whereas with my son, because it was such a short window of time, I don't have that. So my way to revere him and to honor him in my little 24-year-old brain was to hold on to the pain. The pain was the most significant thing about all of it. So it's been a process to let that go because for me as a mom, how do you let go of the thing you want back so bad? So, but I am strong and I've always been strong. I'm strong back then when I did it all weird. So today I can face those hard things and do that and cry on camera and be okay with that because grieving the loss of a child does not mean letting them go. And that's what I thought it meant. Good. Now I've got everybody crying. Fantastic.
It's
Welcome
okay.
to the stage and the menopausal criers.
In the middle.
Yes. I do so much fucking crying nowadays, like to the point where, like, just so you know, just to kind of lighten it ever so slightly, I literally just did a reading yesterday where I was just like, and it's like I'm bawling, but I'm talking normal, and I'm like, because I'm feeling other emotions, I'm like, so it's
The
like,
color
and then
empathy.
Yes, and it's like I don't miss a beat, and then eventually the crying stops, and I'm just like, "Hi, hey, what," like, even now, it's the same thing. It's like it's because it's
That's
I'm
the connect.
getting I'm getting more comfortable with and this isn't just around grief, this is around growth too. I'm getting more comfortable with feeling all of my emotions, uh assertiveness, aggressiveness, defensiveness, anger. Those were my go-to emotions for a year. And if you know anything about psychology or emotions or anything like that, you know that when you're angry, you're actually protecting your sadness or your hurt or your whatever. And I know that it's been a lot to unpackage, just being a fully rounded human being, that it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to be all those things, because society certainly programmed me to be strong. And
But it's also okay to let that stuff go too.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's
Now it is.
necessary.
And I'm there, it's just I'm unpackaging and in a short period of time, decades worth of stuff. And it is exhausting. Anybody who is on a healing journey or even a personal growth journey, it's not for the weak, man. It's not, I mean, lying to myself all these years about how I really felt was the biggest untruth I've ever absorbed. So when I unpackage myself, I think that's what spurred on the awakening was, I knew when I got sober, I had to deal with some alligators that were close to the boat. But in doing that and learning that, I started going, wait a second, what's going on in the world? Why would I ever think that? And that's, spurred my awakening. Started questioning
Mm.
everything.
The worst is when you give advice to other people that you know that you should be taking yourself.
I used to think that, but here's what I know now. That's how it's supposed to work, right? Like
Yeah.
if it's all in our head and we give it to somebody else, then it's concrete.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off a little bit.
You telling somebody something and you say it out loud, and then matter of fact, I did that like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was like, damn, I
Yeah,
need to take that same fucking
Yeah,
advice. All right,
exactly.
bro, let me holler at you. I gotta go take care of something. I gotta go mend some fences.
Exactly. It's like, "Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah."
well, I will selfishly say that that's what I like about mentoring and coaching is it's so reciprocal. I get just as much as I give.
Well, that's supposed to be the true nature of humanity and why we're here is to connect and collaborate. It's not supposed to be, oh, well, I'll give you this. It's supposed to be a give take. It's synergy. That's
Mhm.
how we're supposed to be working. But for whatever reason, whoever got a hold of the portals first fucked everything up. I don't know, but it's supposed to be synergy amongst us. Everything is supposed to be about connectivity. But that's not on a mass scale yet. We'll get there.
I hope so. I hope so. People say things like, it's as simple as the golden rule, right? Treat people like you want to be treated. Well, you say something a million times, it loses its impact. I want to know who's really walking that walk, who's really living by the golden rule. I can tell you that I
Yeah.
try, and trying to me is failing with honor, but like I do it, but there are times that I fall short. But I'm really well aware of when I fall short of the golden rule. Like I would not have said that to another human being, or if somebody said that to me, I would have a problem and I have to check myself.
Well, that's the thing that they do apply the golden rule. They do treat people how they want to be treated. Some people don't fucking like themselves. They treat
Yeah.
themselves like shit, so they treat other people like shit. I don't know if anybody here watches RuPaul, but she always ends her show with, how the hell you gonna love somebody else if you can't love yourself?
True.
So
Yeah, I
they
would.
are following the rule.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. You're right. And 100%. I guess when they say the golden rule, they expect everybody's going to want to treat everybody well. But you're right. We teach people how to treat us, right? You act like an asshole. I'm bringing you asshole energy. Today, I don't have to do that. Today, you bring me asshole energy. I see it for what it is, and I can just dismiss myself. I don't need to waste my energy. I don't need to fix you. You know what I mean? I've changed a little bit.
Yeah, changed too, but it depends on if I got time or not.
Don't get me wrong, and I've
It
said it.
depends on if I have time to be petty or not.
I don't want to be petty.
I have my own golden rule. When somebody shows you who they are, you've gotta believe them.
Fuck yeah.
I've been burned too many times. And boundaries, it always starts with boundaries. You were talking about that. It's knowing listening to your gut, setting up your boundaries. a misalignment is always a big thing. Misalignment of values, of intentions, of words. When somebody's saying something like, it's the exact opposite. You said if you said something a million times, it then loses weight. I actually, personally, my opinion, I believe the exact opposite. But that being said, if somebody's saying something a million times and they're showing you who they are, and not actions speak louder than words, period.
For
So if
sure.
somebody's telling you a million times, like, hey, there's this, the idea isn't that it's lost weight. The idea is that you're ignoring what you should be paying attention to. So the million times is to make you realize, hey, this person is actually this and this is a misalignment, and let it fuck. Dude, one thing I fucking struggle with the most is letting shit fall off my fucking back. I
Yeah.
will sit and ruminate and fucking think about shit and stuff and everything, and like, how am I gonna, and the injustices, dude, injustice is a big one. But I feel like I've gone off on a tangent. But I just want to say, my thing is that the millionth time isn't about it losing weight. It's about you're ignoring that you shouldn't be paying attention to that person.
I get it. I guess what I'm saying is that that they're like I love psychology. I'm over it now. I think spiritual mentoring is really where the sauce is. But I lost my train of thought. Carry on.
Well,
It's it's been an emotional morning.
it's okay. It's okay. I'll just be tripping because I'll just be glad that it don't just be me.
No, brain fog. I'm not kidding. It's real.
These three things. Is it three things? I don't know. We'll see. This is what I always trust everybody to be exactly who the fuck they are. I observe, I'm like, okay, that's how you move. And then I set reasonable expectations. And I don't ruminate. I think the only person that can make me ruminate over things is Mr. Emperor. I don't even ruminate about things over my kids. We have a conversation. It's like, okay, we agree to disagree. All right, bye. See you later. Like, they're grown now. So you're not a child anymore. You are an adult. Mr. Emperor is my teammate. Everybody else is water off a duck's back. It is water off a duck's back. Because I'm always about, here go to Virgo and the whole control thing. But my control is me. I am very stringent with myself. How I move and how I operate. I don't like wasted energy. I don't like inefficiency. Again, that includes energy. Sometimes I'm a little too stringent with myself, but I like to keep control over myself. And I refuse to let anybody else have it. And that includes regulating my emotions.
I was just going to say
So,
emotional regulation is the name of the game, right? It ties into everything they say. Your alignment, right? It's all tied into emotional regulation. We have some unhinged people in our society right now, and they are not emotionally regulated. What you won't do to me
no, they're not.
is disrupt my regulation, right? I'm not saying it couldn't happen. That's what I'm saying. If somebody's crappy to me, I can meet you there. I can lean forward real quick, but I don't have to. Yeah.
Now, if I have the time, especially if I don't have an emotional investment to you and you want to be crappy or petty to me, and I literally have time that day,
She's like, all right, I got 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes for this
yeah,
bullshit.
I will give you the energy that you seek so bad, and then walk away smiling because I know I pissed you off. Don't come for me.
You
But
know,
I just, ah.
I can't do it.
People. I love people, but I don't really like them now.
I love you. I don't like you.
That's the thing I've had to really reel in is the pettiness, the sharpness. I'm with you. I don't care if I have time. I'll fucking clear my schedule. Like, let's do this shit. Like, that's literally me. Like, we're doing this. But I also
Hold
know
up, let me
I've
clear
always
my
known to
schedule.
like stop at a certain point. Dude, I'm dead ass serious. I got a Taurus Mars. Like, oh, okay, you want to do battle? Bitch on. I will dig in and do it. So I've had to like reel that back in and be like, again, that's part of my whole thing. Let that shit roll off. But I love the fact that we keep giving like these weird ass obscure sayings, like old fashioned sayings. My mom used to be fucking huge on it. Like I've said some stuff that like my dance card's full. People don't know what that means kind of thing. But it's like it's giving me this idea of like Yeah,
My great grandmother helped raise me, so that's why I talk like that.
my great grandmother raised my mom, so I have a lot of her sayings. So I know that this is that female Scorpio type energy, basically, is what it is. But yeah, I'll clear my fucking schedule. Let's do this shit. And I've had to like, okay, no. What have I ignored to get myself into that position? And most things are about making me lose my attitude. Because once I lose my attitude, that's what attracts in everything. And that's been my biggest thing with my energy, is learning that. I fight with people. I'll fight with my boss. I'll do it. I don't care who you are. I'll do it.
Nope, do not. Don't care at all. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care if you're I don't care if you're 5 or 75. I don't care. You can get it. If
So
you can talk back and forth complete sentences with me, you can get it. I don't care. We're gonna have a conversation. I just
the, the thing
all
is,
right.
is
I look at it as a little course correction after you talk to me.
So I call it giving them a little taste, right? Like a little sample.
Yeah.
So I'll say, well, Leary will say, "Oh, you had to talk to that woman. Did you give her a little taste?" And I'm like, "No, not this time. I didn't have to." But I wanted to tell you, I used to be like that. What all you're saying, Elle will clear her schedule. Empress will make sure she's got time. So I have performed. Should have charged tickets to some of the verbal unlashings I've given out in my day. I'm not proud of it. I've just done it. And I have those skills. I just don't need to use them. But I was talking with my son. This was like maybe a year ago or whatever, on my growth journey. And I said, people really have thought I'm intimidating. I call my son Bubba. And Bubba's like, Mom, you don't have to give everybody a taste. You're just loud. You're not intimidating. You don't scare anybody. You're just loud and nobody wants to hear it. Hearing that from my adult son on this persona that I thought I was portraying to the world, that a child could be like, oh, you just loud. You're just loud. You don't scare anybody. It changed my perception. Like I thought I was meeting you where you were at. Long story short, now I just don't want to waste my energy. I'm not going to give it to you, not because I can't, not that I'm not skilled, not that I don't want to make you hate your mother. I'm just not doing it today because I'm protecting my energy. And the other thing we were saying,
Exactly.
we didn't catch this on recording, is I was saying that recently, since I've been doing all life, I know we give away energy in interaction, give away energy in public. We just spill out a little bit all the time in our energy field. I must be spilling more now than I ever have, and I've got to learn how to control that. No,
I don't know. So I think this kind of goes along the lines of conversation that I had with Elle the other day. Cause there's something that she told me, and then I'm listening to you, and then I know I've been blaming it on menopause, but I'm starting to think that maybe that's not it. We talked about this a few episodes ago. A collective shift is going on. And I think that we are all kind of like, not that we're giving out too much energy, but I think spirit universe is trying to force us to not go as much as we used to,
oh, that's a good point.
because they need us to power up, because we're going to need it for later on.
Yeah.
But because of who all three of us are, we're like, go, 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 go. We got shit to do. I can get 25 things done on this 100-item list in one day. Like that, I feel like that's all three of our personalities that we have in common. But I think, and especially at the age that we are for this cycle, this is when we're supposed to be going into our little cocoon and then
Permit mode.
coming out of our chrysalis, our new selves, because we're witches and bitches on any given. Elle's a witch every day.
we're all witches. Yeah.
I think we're all transferring into our sage era.
Yeah. And I don't think you were here for that conversation between me and Kim this morning, where I said to her, where we're talking about the weather and shit and stuff. And it's like, and I told her, I go, I think we're supposed to be like, literally, you're giving confirmation that we're supposed to be sitting still and doing shadow work, or as Mr. Witchy calls it, shadow boxing. I love that because it's so
Yeah.
apropos and so proper.
Well,
Like
yeah.
fighting our own demons inside, which goes back to like the loathing and insecurities and things and shit like that. Absolutely. I agree. I concur.
I
It's
like
the
that.
shadow work.
I was saying I like that
It's
correlation of that. Maybe it's not that I spilling out so much as spirit is spilling me out a little bit faster so that I realize I'm expended. I need to go and do the rest, relaxation, introspection, shadow work. I like that makes sense to me. That resonates.
The more you unpack, the brighter your light becomes. So it makes sense. So it's like you're getting to your higher self. So it makes
Well,
sense.
and more importantly, with the shadow, I like it when she said the shadow boxing. You're shadow boxing, but you're also powering up. But the shadow boxing is important because when it is time for us to come out of our chrysalis and spread our beautiful, colorful wings, if you've done all the shadow work, nobody can attack you with your demons because you done already fought them all. Y'all done sit down, made friends, had a fucking couple of shots, smoked a joint, kicked it, and now we all good and we integrated. That's what the shadow work is for. So nobody else can attack you with your own shit.
Yeah,
You're not
that's
surprised because you already know this about yourself. You've processed it, you've accepted it, and you've made the necessary adjustments or no adjustments. Because there's some things that people don't like about me. And I did the shadow work and I decided, fuck y'all, I'm keeping it. So,
Call it being bulletproof about
yeah.
yourself. It's
Yeah.
not
So,
about, yeah, being unfeeling or anything, but you're correct. Again, it goes back to the insecurities. It's our own personal insecurities about shit that's only important to us and not important to anybody else, if that makes sense.
yeah, girl, you go slay them demons. Ain't nobody throw them in your face after that. Can't nobody throw shit in my face. I do. When I tell you,
That's
I
a
have,
Virgo.
huh?
No one's bigger. That's the Virgo. No one's a bigger critic of you than you.
Exactly. I have zero fucks to give about what anybody else thinks.
Care about what other people think. I did my 20s. About the time I hit my 30s, I realized, well, okay, so here's the thing. I always say this. It goes back to a lot of shit that I have in regards to like the issue that I had with my father was like I was 38 and he was trying to tell me what to do and I'm like, "Bitch, I'm old enough to have a midlife crisis and have it be acceptable." I go, "You don't ask me for how to live your life. Nobody asked me for permission of how to live their lives. Why am I asking you for permission of how to live my life? If I'm only living up to the expectations of like you, then I'm not living what I want. And you're not caring about what anybody else thinks. So why do you think that you can dictate my life kind of thing?" And I think a lot of people get involved in this whole what do they think? What do they believe? What are the Joneses going to think? Are people going to have issues with this and shit? Fuck them.
What
Fuck
people
them.
think of me is none what people think of me is none of my fucking business.
I don't care. Everyone's going to have an opinion.
Yeah, whatever people think of me is none of my fucking business. I don't need to know. Now if I ask for your opinion, that's different. But if you just volunteer it, depending on the day, I'll and then
see if
Yep.
you got time to listen. Um, I I heard something one, if I wouldn't ask somebody for advice, right? I don't ask for a lot of advice, but when I do, it's singular to the thing. If I need car advice, I'm going to the car guy, right? If I wouldn't ask you advice, why do I give a fuck about your opinion?
that's a good one.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a good one.
It's like, I'm not taking parenting advice, period, but I'm not taking parenting advice from somebody who doesn't have kids, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. If I want to learn how to lose weight, I wouldn't ask me, somebody who's overweight, I would ask somebody who's fit. So I think we should take people's opinions and think about them a little bit differently. I mean, I know people are people pleasers and we're talking about all the programming we've been through. But yeah, if I wouldn't ask you for advice, I don't give a shit what you have to say about me. I used to. I mean, I'm not saying hasn't been an evolution, but I don't.
Toss in a slight comment on that in regards to this. This is myself personally, what I believe. I believe that it doesn't, and I'm not just saying that because you said like, oh, who doesn't have kids? That's cool. That's fine. I get it. I understand. And I said that. But like, even people who have shitty advice can still give you very good, valid points.
Sure.
And we have a tendency to maybe ignore very good sage advice from people because they're fucked up. And I say that as somebody who's done that myself. Like, I've attacked somebody because I was like, how dare you give me relationship advice? Your relationship's all fucked up. But the problem is this. Sometimes you need somebody who is removed, who has a different view of it. Yes, experience is very important, but their shit's not less valid because it actually may be giving you a perspective as somebody who's like, hey, did you think about this? Like, I'm not even talking about kids. I'm talking about in general. Like, somebody who's not married. Like, let's use that. So we've all been married or am married. I'm on my second marriage. Like, but somebody who's not married may have some very good advice for me because they've looked at it in a different way and they've not experienced it. So it's like I like to take in everything and then use discernment to try to figure out like, hey, is it this? But there a knee-jerk reaction that I've had to learn is to not immediately be like, you don't fucking know, and then reel that back in. Just throwing that one out there. I just want to throw that aspect in as well. Mhm.
I like to say something just because I'm
Yeah.
reliving trauma over here. I will agree with you. I take information, not who it's from. And I'll say this because when I was little, I used to tell grown-ups shit all the fucking time to save us trouble. But because I'm only 5 or 6, nobody wants to listen to me. And I had to sit there and go along with their stupid little fucking plan, even though
Because you had no choice.
even though I knew a better way because I'm only 6. So there, I've got my trauma out. Thank you.
Yeah, because I've seen that in the 3D because it's like with business, like I don't have a bachelor's. Ergo, people like, I'm not going to listen to you about business. It's like, but I've been doing this since I was 17. I've seen different things. Like, why wouldn't you take some advice? It's like, no, because you're not this. And I'm like,
I
okay,
get
but that
that.
doesn't, there's street smarts and then there's book smart kind of thing. So I agree with you, Empress, for the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
I look at my mom as a kid and be like, why can't you just get your shit together? And it's just, no.
well, that's stupid. That's stupid. See, again, societal structure. So I don't have a bachelor's either, and it's by fucking choice, but I also have a fucking 125 IQ. I'm an artsy person. I have mental capacity to do certain things, but I don't like that shit. I prefer to do arts and crafts all fucking day. I fucking hate corporate. Like, I was good at it, but I didn't like it. Oh my God, it's so draining. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Elle, what I was saying, like about the not taking advice part is it's not necessarily advice, but like, it's like, you're right. If I want opinions, I want a variety of opinions, right? I don't want just like people who are going to tell me what I want to hear. I have those people in my life, right? But I'm talking about people who are giving their opinions that feels like with the intent to cut you down. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I don't care if it's sage advice or not. If you're coming at it with an ill
Right.
intention, then that don't
And that's
matter.
how I look at it. Like if you're coming from a place when I was younger, if you were coming from a place to cut me down, I was coming for you to cut you down. Now I'm at the place where I wouldn't even talk to this person anyway. I'm not giving them anything I got. That's what I meant. But I do agree there's a balance of, you're right. I have kids. You don't. It doesn't mean I wouldn't take advice from you with regards to parenting. It's just that if you were trying to cut my parenting down, I wouldn't be looking to you to advise me on that. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
no, we
absolutely. No,
have
and
to be
nor
able.
would I.
I think it's good to be open and listen to what other people have to say to get a variety of different perspectives. Our perspectives, the three of us, is different, right? We're vastly different. But if you're trying to cut me down or you're trying to hurt me or you're trying to belittle me, I understand that mediocrity attacks excellence. I'm not having it.
No, I get that. I'm with you because I don't, it's not that I don't mind the information, even if it's unsolicited. Like you said, intent, again, that's an energy thing. Cause if your energy ain't right, your intent is negative, then don't put that shit on me. But also too, with the expectation of your opinion is going to make me change what I do. If you're just giving it just because you want to give the information to be helpful, but then the pushiness or the coming back to me, well, I see you didn't try the such and such method. No, motherfucker, I didn't. Because this works for me and I like it the way it is. Like that whole trying to force you.
Yeah. Now that I've given you my advice, you must take it. No, that's what our parents
Yeah,
did.
no, because I'm not that way. Like if I'll give people advice, I do give unsolicited advice sometimes, especially if I feel like I see you on the struggle bus. But if you don't take it, that's on you. Just don't come back and ask me for help later.
I was gonna say one thing that drives me insane, and I have to say this is this: you have a problem. You're complaining about said problem. You're giving advice, the whole nine, something like this, change some shit, do some stuff like that. Don't take it. Free will's a thing. Don't keep coming back to me bitching about
With
the
the
same fucking
same
problem
problem.
because that's when my attitude gets lost. If you're not learning something, doing something, it's like you got going back to the old say, like it or lump it. Either accept it, and if you accept it in totality and move forward and just be like, this is it, or don't and do something different. But we're not. I call it rerun episode. We've seen this episode. I'm done. I'm ready to watch a new show. I've had to drop people for doing that, for doing those kinds of things for year after year after year. It's like, dude, you're just dragging me down. You're just that's a vampire energy trying to take your energy and drag your ass down. So yeah, so that I'll say, like, I'm done. I won't listen to this thing. Figure it out on your own. I'm not your sounding board. That shit, I hate that.
I
That's my
have
pet peeve.
Yeah, and I want you to know that I have been your pet peeve. I have been the person who would go to the friend with the same problem over and over and over again. You know
No,
why? I know
you
this
haven't done
now.
that to me.
No. I'm
No, she
talking.
said
I'm
she
going
had been a friend in the past.
in the past.
I thought she said to me. I thought
And
she said I was been your pet peeve. I was like, what? No. Okay,
no.
sorry.
I have been at times that pet peeve, right? I've been the person. And the truth is because I wasn't ready. And I honestly didn't want your opinion. I just wanted you to be in the room while I was bitching about what I was bitching about. I didn't know that consciously. That was the truth. But I hear you. And the only reason it's changed a little bit for me, and I think I'm picking up better on intentions now, is I do a lot of work in recovery. Right. And these are people who are going to make the same mistake typically over and over and over again. So I've gained some empathy on just because I say it and it's a good idea doesn't mean that person is ready to do the thing. So I don't know. I hear what you're
Mm,
saying. I don't want to hear the same problem over and over and over and over again either. But if you're showing some willingness, I will continue to drop a nugget for you. Yeah.
that right there. That's exactly it. It's just like shadow work, shadow boxing, whatever it is. One of the things that I've said this week that I can't stand is healed. I'm a healed version of you're a healing version. Like, I don't believe healing ever stops kind of thing.
Yeah, me either.
It's always something to unpack, but there's that willingness to like need to change. Like, if you're showing that, then like I'm full in. But if you're, like I said, again, it's like, if you just keep doing these, like, that to me is that karmic cycle of like, you're not learning your lesson and it's the universe being like, "Oh, you didn't, cool, here you go, here's some more, and it's like, I don't have to be there for it.
Yeah, people can exhaust. I think some of that's just growing up, right? In my 20s, I had more room and more energy to listen to other people's shit. I don't anymore. If, like you said, if you come and you want to repeat the same damn problem over and over again and you can't find a different result, I'm probably not the person you want to talk to. But if you're coming to me and you're like, listen, yeah, like I realize I didn't do the thing and you gave me this advice, but I'm really struggling with this. You're showing some willingness. Still here for you for that.
1,000,000%.
I'm sorry.
I try not to give unsolicited advice. And so most of the time, that's why I have such a resting bitch face, is because I'm holding back. I'm trying not to give the advice.
Empress was going up.
I tell you, I got people in my house. I'm over here. I'm trying to give instructions.
Go out to the front tree, take a left, make sure the neighbors aren't looking, pop a squat or bend over, and
So, well, they don't know. I've got out of town company. Everyone's hungover except for me. And we woke up to no running water this morning because it was less than 20 degrees outside. And I'm in the country on well water. So my pipes are frozen.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah.
my ice maker's not working. I don't know why. Nothing's frozen here, just the ice maker.
Well, everything is fucking
Right.
frozen here in Pennsylvania. My house is frozen. The street is frozen. Everything's frozen. I'm frozen. It's a whopping 1 degrees out. Feels like -12. That's just fucking rude.
At,
Well,
at
North
least
Carolina,
being
we're not supposed to
-7.
be frozen.
You what?
We're not supposed to be frozen here. We're in
Well,
North
I know.
Carolina. We're not supposed to be frozen.
Well, I will tell you that even
That's
for
why I moved
Pennsylvania,
here.
even for Pennsylvania, this has been an very unusually cold winter. Usually we get under, freezing all the time, but then we go back a little above. We'll hit 40, we'll hit 35 stuff. The sun comes out and shit starts to melt. I've got 30 inches of snow out there that's not going anywhere until May.
Well, the funny thing is, my out of town company, their cousins from Philly, and we were out last night and they were complaining. They basically said we could have stayed in Philly for this shit. We thought it was warmer now.
To Miami for work. I went there. Oh my God, I can't remember what year it was, but I went in January. And I was so fucking excited because I went there for training. I was like, this is gonna be great. It was like in the middle of the fucking cold snap that hadn't hit Florida in like fucking
Oh,
decades. So I was like freezing there. It's like it's the same thing. I could have kept my ass in North Carolina. I could have stayed there.
Well,
yeah.
you guys know I have family down there. I think my stint here in Pennsylvania, I think it's very important why I'm here. Maybe one day we'll talk about how I feel like I was divinely led to this house and everything. A lot of it is what Empress said about needing the time to heal, to be in, to do the things that I've definitely been afforded that time since I've been here. It's been a struggle, but I've done it. Yeah. I think the
Yep,
weather all has a play in all of that. Yeah. I
for
feel like
sure.
I'm
For sure.
about to say something and I forgot again.
You'll come back.
Interesting.
It's okay.
And
You know, that's the other thing. If you gonna pray like this,
I
how the
pray like
blessings
that.
gonna get through if your fucking hands is shut?
I pray like
I
this.
pray like this. I put my hand on my chest
Pray like this.
to give that makes sense. The steeple. What is it? Here is the church. Here is the steeple. Something like that shit. And all the peoples.
All right. Empress,
So
what's our
honestly,
tagline? Empress, what's our tagline?
hey guys, look at here. We're about to close this show out, so we want to remind you that energy is the new commodity. Please vibe high and spend it wisely.